something really interesting about Torch is this open...
Hey, Katsune here for you. We got the VT versus EG Clan War highlights with Trump's commentary of the game, so sit back and enjoy.
Very quick gas on the second base. Looks like Torch really needs that gas considering he's going Siege Tank, Banshee, and more just Siege Tank and Banshee. It's very gas intensive. iNcontroL, taking it nice and easy. He's definitely expecting a Hellion drop. Sees 4 Hellions, sees the starport. So Torch's opening is purely psychological. He's keeping we'll think. We'll wonder how Torch managed to pull this off with 2 base. Or 3 base. Well, that was certainly an amusing game. And Torch really showing us how doing a different, unexpected playstyle can give you an enormous advantage against another player, but just throwing it away in an instant. Oh boy. Actually, Torch sort of scrabbling his way back in here. Battle cruisers on the field, able to take out iNcontrol's army. Wait, did iNcontroL realize that the game was still... Well, we might still actually have a game. Well, he is at 193 food compared to 187 of iNcontroL, and here we have the big battle that's sure to decide it all. iNcontroL blinks in here. He's using his stalkers to focus fire the battle cruisers, but these armies are just melting. iNcontrol's army is melting, and battle cruisers win! Woo! Torch is going in for it, and we've got to watch out though because iNcontroL does have so many bases. He's got this base over here, the gold over here. There comes iNcontroL with a big army. Watch out! Massive feedbacks going off. Where's the feedback? No feedback going off. Torch spreading his army very nicely, using the Marauders shamelessly to pick off the big stuff. Oh my gosh! iNcontroL built High Templar, but immediately morphed them into Archons. High Templar are the best unit against these battle cruisers, and this Marauder battle cruiser army is just going to roll over iNcontroL, and this is possibly the best day of my life. I'm so happy right now. Torch with a tremendously unorthodox opening on his own map choice of Delta Quadrant, macros up to an amazingly diverse army, throws it all away in the center, and then macros back up to Battle Cruiser Marauder to clean up iNcontroL of all players. Both instead focusing on getting Colossus and Colossus range. iNcontroL might soon be doing a severe 2 Colossus push, or he could also just be playing defensively. We'll have to see. A lot of bio research being done by Blur, combat shields, stim pack, getting a starport. Curiously enough, no reactor on this factory. It looks like the starport's actually going to take the tech lab. That's something that iNcontroL warps in 3 zealots. These cannons are going to play a pretty nice role in this coming fight. Vikings getting a bit ahead of themselves, but at least they're forcing the Colossus back. And now Blur can just push forwards with his Colossus. Big mistake landing the Vikings. What was Blur thinking? But here he comes with these Marauders. They're kiting forwards. Colossus shots just doing so much damage. Blur consistently continuing them. It does now have this golden base saturated. He also has 23 workers on the opponent. So Blur, it's up to Blur to make something happen here, and he might. He has a very strong army here. But iNcontroL of 2 really well-placed Colossus, one on the left side, one on the right side. Left Colossus goes down, right Colossus is getting focused. iNcontroL, some nice photon cannon defense as well. These photon cannons are really pulling their weight. They only cost 150 minerals each, and they're much more effective than a Stalker. iNcontroL continuing to fight it out. Looks even, but even fights are exactly what iNcontroL wants. The more even a fight is, the better, because its economy, especially this gold base, can just... Dark Templar, I'll keep my mouse on him so you can see the kills rack up as a big battle occurs. Colossus getting picked off by the Vikings, but once these Vikings have no targets, this mass Viking army is going to start looking very bad. Forced to land, but just not able to do enough. Dark Templar racking in 16 kills at least. And look at Attero, he's making sure that no such shenanigans will occur because of this pylon. iNcontroL looks like he's going to just have that stay there. Attero playing it very safe, making sure that there's no block off that can happen here. Patrolling a drone back and forth. Good style. Attero clearly playing very safe. I think we're going to see both players start to macro up a bit. Neither side's going to really be able to take each other out with this force. iNcontroL has a decent sized force outside of Attero's base, and certainly it's a bigger force than Attero. Nice force field is going to stop the roaches from doing too much. But 2 queens, roaches, spine crawlers with a decent defense of Attero. Attero should be able to handle this. iNcontroL loses 1 zealot. Fended off. Not a big deal. But iNcontroL... Looks like Attero actually on the move. With speed roaches, he's going to try to take this army on. Look at the army sizes. Attero is ahead on food count. He's slightly ahead on the mineral count. iNcontroL with some really nice force fields is going to pick off these 3 roaches. And suddenly... Attero getting picked off a bit here again. Force fields going to break 2 roaches, but the strength of the roaches cannot be denied. They're just such a... They're sort of like playing rock, paper, scissors and just throwing rock. Rock sort of beats everything. So, Attero with a very nice army, focusing 1 unit at a time. He's ultimately going to lose this battle, but at least he's going to pick off quite a few of iNcontrol's army before going down. iNcontroL with 3 Colossus. Attero getting caught up on this ramp a bit. Force fields would be really savage. 1 force field coming up. Force fields making Attero's army be a bit awkward. He is going to back up because that concave was very soon. Attero trying to get in there. Nice force field is going to block off half of the army. That's exactly what iNcontroL needs to do. These Colossus are in a very safe spot. Protoss with so much control. That Zerg army was completely wiped out with very few losses, if any, to this. The answer to these Colossus soon enough. And now iNcontroL finally swiping into Attero's last base. Last mining base, rather. And Attero forced to engage, but being forced to engage is never a good thing. Attero trying to get in here. Ultralisk managed to tank quite a lot, and manages to get in there, take a couple of Colossus out, but when all is said and done, Attero is just out-economied, out-macroed, out-teched, and going after the game. Suddenly a really bad shape for iNkA. iNkA is gonna be really upset about that, I'm sure. Attero is chrono boosting out an Immortal, knowing that iNkA is very aggressive. iNkA now adding on a robotics facility of his own. After losing 3 Stalkers, that's not good. Attero gonna add on a robotic spin. And I'm sure we're going to hear after the game about how that 3 Stalker bit of lag with the force field really changes the core tab. Attero's probe count is going to plummet a little. 2 Immortals get loaded up by iNkA, but that's just as Attero is attacking. iNkA going to drop his Immortals right behind the Colossus. Very nice. That's going to be able to do a lot of damage to the Colossus. Colossus actually forced to go forwards towards iNkA, but just this amount of tech, this 2 Colossus advantage is going to push Attero in the lead. iNkA going to give up, and VT takes the first game.